Hey guys, Riot here, doing what we do, you know. This is our podcast for Tuesday, January 23rd in the year of our Lord 2018. And you can... Sure. Hey, and I'll tell you, you can expect to get a little frustrated in the podcast.
There's some stuff in here.
Are you engaged or have you recently become engaged?
Or do you want to be engaged?
You hope to be engaged.
And you have this plan already mapped out and it might include something called an engagement party, then it's going to be a tough podcast for you. But I think you should listen through.
There's engagement talk here. We also get into one of Nikki's favorites, What We Do in the Shadows, a large cheese wheel.
And you're like, oh, no. A $900 giant cheese. It's not even a wheel. It's something else.
They call it a wheel.
It's like a coffee table, like you said. It looks like furniture.
Like a coffee table. It does. And beer cans to go with your cheese wheel.
$900 beer. No, just teasing.
No. So you guys enjoy the podcast today. And as we often tell you, stop by Facebook.com/Radio U and, of course, Radio U Riot. Let us know what's on your mind. And we love to hear from you guys.
Yeah, if you go on our Facebook page for our Radio U Riot, that's our show page, and you can actually get our podcast there each day, too, if you're listening to this maybe on YouTube or through any other podcast company way. Yeah. There's lots of ways for you to check out every day.
Yeah, well, you guys enjoy the podcast. Thanks for giving us time today, and have a great one.
Bye-bye.
The Worst of the Riot box set is now available nowhere because we know you wouldn't want it anyway. It's The Worst of the Riot on Radio U.
I had a friend of mine text me last night, and he was like, hey, unexpected cash, like windfall. I've got some extra money here. I was thinking about buying something, and I was like, okay. And I figured a lot of my friends come to me for tech advice, which, in case you can't tell, maybe I'm not a very good person for it.
But you tend to know.
They're like, hey, should I buy this? Should I buy this? Whatever. And he texted me this. It is a wheel of cheese, but it's not just like any wheel of cheese.
Is it the melting cheese?
Nope. It's way better than that. Take a look at what I just sent you.
Oh, from Costco?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. It's a
72-pound.
Parmigiano Reggiano, 72-pound Kirkland signature whole wheel of cheese. He's not buying that.
No, he's not.
Okay, thank goodness. I was like, that's $900 worth of cheese right there.
I just had this moment where I stared at it like, I mean, that's a joke.
That's a lot. What do you do here with this?
I mean,
you must be a restaurant.
I actually was going to ask you that, Nikki, because Costco's selling a $900 72-pound cheese wheel. How do you even get into that? Do I cut into that with a knife, or do I start with a grater?
I think you must use a knife. It's made with the freshest milk from Italy and aged a minimum of 24 month.
Look at it has three things about it. They're like aged 24 months, imported from Italy. Extravagant.
They even show a wine pairing. They say that it's good eaten alone, shredded or grated Parmigiano.
Good eaten alone? You're at home alone
eating
grating this cheese wheel?
Or you can it transforms any pasta soup or salad. It's like it's an Olive Garden thing. I don't know.
You know what? I think that sounds fantastic.
There's 4 reviews of it. Let's see, 4 people.
You know they didn't buy it.
This was received as a gift, a wonderful one, superior in quality. Oh my gosh. Who would get a cheese wheel like this?
As good as any 18 to 22 pound cheese I've purchased in New York City. Wow.
A lot of people are getting this as a gift.
Wait a minute. Look at that. Do you see who the last review is from? Crumb.
Oh.
Could that be the hip hop artist that we're so familiar with?
We play Crumb. Yeah, it says pros, tasty, con. Probably not the real thing. I don't know what that means.
I don't either. It says, it's not bad, and I've used it in Alfredo sauce with great success. Would be nice to get some clarification on what the cheese really is.
Who has a 900-pound cheese wheel in their house?
What's 72 pounds?
Well, a $900 72-pound cheese wheel. Like, do you put it on your coffee table, or I don't have space for this?
No, I just assume like it's in seriously like a wine cellar or something, right? Because like I imagine this, you walk in and you think it's furniture because that's what it looks like, and you're like, oh no, that's the cheese.
Oh, it's cheese. And you know, like when I open up something now, and then you're supposed to like put foil over it or plastic wrap to keep it sealed.
Okay.
Like,
do you do that?
What do you do with this? Do you get a bag to put it in? I don't know.
I mean, maybe certain kinds of cheeses, can you just leave it out?
Probably. The air won't even hurt it.
Oh, man. You could put a goldfish in it, and it wouldn't even die.
It's that big of a cheese wheel, guys. Well, if you didn't know this existed, This is apparently something that people give as gifts.
I love it. I want to be in a place financially that my friends are like, I'm not sure what to get him, and I'll just get him this cheese wheel. How much is
$900.
Don't worry about it. We make so much money, we don't even think about it.
Why don't we peruse the gourmet food section of the Costco website and let's see what else we get. We could have as a possible gift.
Wow, we're in the cheese and butter section right now. That sounds delicious.
Dude, $1,000 of that's that type of beef. Okay. That's why. All right, we can't afford this section, so don't even look. It'll burn your eyes. Don't even look at the cheese wheel.
All right.
Well, there's a $700 one.
Well, that's a little more affordable.
That's a little. It's a different type of cheese. It's a Grana Padano cheese.
Of course it is.
Of course.
That's my second favorite.
Yeah, or there's a Pepperino Romano Argentino cheese wheel for $3.29. Okay, we just have to keep going down on the page.
What a savings.
The part that keeps me up at night, we paid them for this. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
You guys might not know this, but Nikki loves a movie called What We Do in the Shadows.
I do. And if you like Thor, then it was brought to you by the man who made that.
Same director.
Yeah.
Werewolves, not swearwolves.
It's a classic.
Did you know that
they're making a TV show?
Not just that. Okay, they are making a TV show, which, by the way, FX just announced that they have officially signed on for the show.
That's a shame.
And they've done. I
don't think I get that.
I mean, they haven't. It hasn't been picked up to series yet, but they have a pilot commitment.
Sure.
So FX is like, yes, we're going to pay to make a pilot, and they started casting Matt Berry, Kevin Novak, and Natasha Demetrio.
Sure.
These are all people that I'm sure maybe if we Googled, we'd know them, but I don't know them. But that's the American TV show. They're also making a movie sequel called We're Wolves about the Wolves guys. And there is a New Zealand TV show that's going to be called Wellington Paranormal that features the police officers Karen and Mike.
Well, why? Well, I want all of this. That means they're like, hey, you know what? You did such a good job with all that. You can do whatever you want.
It's just one of those things that when I look at it, this is like this little low budget, nobody knows what you're talking about movie when you tell them about it. And they're spinning it off into its own universe. It's got movies. It's got TV shows. It's got TV shows on different continents. Like, what is going on?
Well, for What We Do in the Shadows, I mean, that director, I never remember how to say his name. Takiki
Waititi?
Something. He did Ragnarok. And
Taika,
we listened to it once and
we did, and we were wrong.
But
we were wrong when we had it then.
So funny and so talented. And he was also in Moana.
He was?
Yeah, he was the crab guy.
All right, I have a confession to make.
Did you see it? Or
I've never seen it.
You never saw it? It's fine. I'm just trying to pull up some more big budget things that he's done.
I typically, stuff from Pixar and Disney, even though it's not my wheelhouse, I'll still usually watch it, but I never watched Moana.
Well, these are not the same. If you watch one, it doesn't mean you like the other. The humor's very different.
I understand that.
Very different. But he's based out of New Zealand, and so it makes sense to do stuff there.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a movie for everybody. It's a comedic look at vampire life, but and werewolves, not swearwolves.
All right, well, we got a lot coming up.
Yeah. So, Nikki, when I saw that last night, I almost sent it to you, and I was like, no, I'm gonna tell her about it on the show so everybody can get in on it.
So we can all listen to it at the same time.
So they're doing a lot.
Thanks for sharing.
I just don't see why we can't get a Riot spinoff show. If they're getting all these shows, where's my spinoff?
You don't have to apologize unless you've done something wrong.
Well, I'm sorry. I can't even think straight right now.
This is the worst of the riot. We're very, very sorry.
Mark Wahlberg says he wants to have an all-natural baby. No, that's not it. He says, this is all natural, baby.
See, it depends on how you read something.
Yeah.
Is he talking about what he's using to getting big?
See, Nikki, here's the thing. There is a drug ring that has been exposed.
Yeah.
And in the middle of all of that, there are 3 celebrities that are being named as perhaps partaking in steroids illegally, of course.
The guy who was the dealer was saying that these celebrities would use it to bulk up for some of their movie roles.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like this story's kind of died a bit. It came out and then it was like, well, that was it. No one was really as interested. Or it wasn't as scandalous.
Roman Reigns, Josh Duhamel, and then Mark Wahlberg. And so that's why Mark Wahlberg is out there saying all natural baby. I think we're baby. So he's like saying all natural baby.
Is he just saying what he's been taking has not been illegal?
I guess. I mean, to be clear, anybody that you see on TV that's huge, they're taking something. So now, where is, and this is how people get in trouble. It's like, where is that line between what is natural and what's not natural?
and what's legal in this country but might not be, or is not legal here but could be legal in another place.
So it may not be illegal, or it may be illegal, but is it immoral? And you've got to ask yourself, look at what the system is doing to us. You're never going to get all the roles if your muscles aren't big enough, so in reality, you're being forced to take it.
Well, the thing to remember with Mark Wahlberg...
You're nothing but a piece of meat!
He's a lot older than you think he is.
How old do you think he is?
Well, I thought he was in his 40s.
He is.
Yeah, but yet when you look at him, I think for certain roles, they said he especially needed to bulk up.
Yeah.
Pain and Gain and a couple others.
Well, that was a weightlifting movie.
So it made sense.
Yeah.
But the dealers allegedly that he was using those for those movies.
Let me tell you part of why people in the real world don't look like people do in Hollywood. Men in their 40s and 50s are cast as men in their 30s. Women in their teens are cast as women in their 30s. And so...
It's a weird thing.
People don't look quite right. Like, you'll be out and see a man with his daughter and be like, oh, they must be a happily married couple. At least that's what they look like on TV. So it's... Well, they mess with you just a little bit. So, yeah, 46, and Mark says, Nikki, that's all natural.
Sure.
It's all natural.
Sure it is.
So, and I mean...
Here's the key, okay, is you have to find pictures of them when they were just starting out.
I don't know. If you go back and look at Mark Wahlberg from the beginning...
Is he pretty? Well,
yes.
That's true. He worked. I'm more talking some of the other guys.
I mean, I'll be honest. I've probably seen more pictures of Mark Wahlberg in his underwear than any other man I know.
True.
Well, maybe David Beckham, but still, lots of underwear pics out there. Used to be on billboards. I don't know anymore, but...
So he's saying no.
He says no. That is all natural.
He's saying the guy in the sting is lying.
Just making it up. Just making stuff up. The other guys, by the way, have also denied it.
Oh, yeah, of course. So They said they were buying under aliases, so...
Yeah. Well, I mean, of course you would, right? But... Yeah, whatever.
Bark Wahlberg. It's like, are you Mark Wahlberg? No, I'm not.
I'm Bark Wahlberg. It's not just the name of
it's
a puppy
European.
at the...
It's different.
Mornings are for coffee and contemplation.
Chief, she's...
Coffee and contemplation.
And the Riot. Obviously. Radio U.
So, Nikki, Netflix raised their prices again, right? I'm paying $14.99.
I just figured it probably never stops, so I don't even know anymore.
Yeah, you just whatever, just pay
another
it.
credit card charge.
Yeah, well, guess what? They just want to let you know that even with all of that raising of the monies, they had a record growth quarter. So,
I bet.
Yeah, they added 8.3 million new subscribers
now, I think
Netflix.
that still falls under certain countries that then get Netflix that did not have them before. I don't see that as being a lot of people in the U.S. or other countries that have had them for a while.
I will tell you, I had a conversation with somebody that I was really surprised by when they said, yeah, we finally got Netflix. And I was like, wait,
That's because
what?
you've been using someone else's password and you finally got your own.
Now, that may be true. Maybe you're no longer password sharing. So there's some growth
truth
there.
to that.
There's some growth there. So they said, though, that quarter, like last year, was huge for them because they had a second season of Stranger Things. They had the new Will Smith movie, which, I don't know.
Even if people did not like, they still watched.
They still watched it. And then Black Mirror and The Crown, they say, were big, big watchers for them. And so 8.3 million new people.
I think Netflix just needs to be aware that all's fine and good right now.
Right now.
But once that Disney thing starts up and they own everything that you probably watch on Netflix, outside of a couple of Netflix originals,
They say they're not scared of it.
They're not scared of it? They should be. I'm more interested in that.
You are?
I think so.
You know what? I've been thinking about it.
Because they own so much. I mean, you don't realize everything that falls under that umbrella.
Now, that's true. Like, that Disney service is going to be a real contender. But I think what ends up happening is I think I just end up with both.
Probably.
I think I end up with the Netflix and the Disney one and probably nothing else. I'm trying to think, am I subscribing to
Prime, but that doesn't count because you're paying for that anyway.
Right, that's something else. And then I've got YouTube Red, but I'm already doing a music subscription. Oh, boy.
It starts to add up, doesn't it?
Let's not do
Before
this
you know
math.
It, cutting cable has been really economical for us.
Wow. Right? So maybe I should just cancel all this stuff and just go back to cable. I'm just kidding.
No one's saying that.
No, but I mean, like the stuff I watch is on Netflix. A lot of the stuff I'm watching are Netflix originals. So, and boy, I would love to tell you guys there's something on broadcast TV that I like, but that's a lie.
Not right now.
I don't like anything on broadcast TV. I want to like it, but I don't. I've recorded it.
Just never watched it. We'll see what happens, but you got to slow down, Netflix. You must slow down.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean,
hey, well, they've canceled a couple shows that I like.
You're getting close to the before you know, we'll be at $20 a month, and I don't know if it's worth that.
I do agree that. I mean, I guess technically right now I'm paying $13.99 a month, and they're getting close to the top end. Like,
and one day they'll hit that.
Stupid HBO is $15. I don't have it and I don't want it. But when Netflix is as expensive as HBO,
that goat farm is looking more and more likely every day. It's the worst of the riot.
Nikki, I have told you time and again.
Yeah.
How many times have I told you? We have got to start those airport seminars. We have to.
Meaning we need to be the type of speaker where you do the event that's usually at the airport closest to the hotel closest to the airport.
It's where the money is. It's actually not.
I don't think that's where the money is.
All right, well, let's look at this. Omarosa Newman. She was, she worked for the White House. I can't remember what she did for the White House, but, she was on,
Celebrity Apprentice
that.
and
no,
something
she
else.
was on The Apprentice, and that made her a celebrity, so then she becomes like Celebrity Apprentice or whatever. People know who she is, right? Now, she's doing speaking gigs. What do you think?
You get paid for a speaking gig?
What do you think she gets paid for a speaking gig?
Oh, maybe $20,000?
Oh, you're a sweet kid.
More than that?
Yeah.
$50,000.
$50,000.
$50,000.
$50,000 to
Can you
get her to come
imagine
out.
raking in that much money? That'd be awesome.
I'm going
Especially
to
if
tell
you're
you.
like, well, I'm only going to speak for 5 minutes.
I'm going to be honest with you right now. I cannot think of anyone that I know that's worth that.
Sure.
I'm not, and that sounds.
People make a lot more than that.
Way more. That sounds harsh, but I look at it and go, you know what? You're not going to tell me anything from stage I can't get in a book for $10 or free from the public library. And I know, celebrity. So you bring her in, and then maybe you think it raises the profile of your event or whatever it is. But $50,000, and now, okay, I get it. Maybe they speak for as long as 30 minutes. And as someone that goes out places and speaks, I know that 30-minute presentation takes hours to prepare for. Hours. Like, you want me to come and speak for 30 minutes? I'll bet I spend a week getting ready for it. Practicing it, working on it, all that stuff.
But what if you had a set of 10 things already made, and so you didn't even have to practice anymore? You just rotated those in and out.
But you still had to make those 10 things.
Yeah, but
what I'm saying is that when you get paid, you also need to get paid for some of the work that goes into getting ready for it and not just the time itself.
But it's not that much money.
Well, certainly not. Well, okay, here's the thing. I think I'm worth $50,000.
Well, that's because you're special.
I think I'm worth $50,000. I just don't know that she is. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's just because
they
I'm
think
me.
that it'll bring people in because I'm sure they're paying specifically maybe to see hers. But imagine for your school brings in sometimes speakers. Graduation's coming up. Mm-hmm. They try to bring out someone who's well known. They spend way more than that on a speaker.
Well, she's the kind of speaker they would bring to a commencement or whatever. She's also available for Black History Month and Women's History Month. I'm told this says she'll be in high demand for those. So that's something to think about.
Hey, tag team too. I don't know why we don't go out.
Look, you get a man and a woman.
You get both perspectives.
For $25,000. We'll do it for half price. the other thing that we should really think about is, I think we could do 25,000. One time, I think the most I ever got for a speaking event, one time I got a $50 gift card to Olive Garden. Somebody was like, thank you so much for coming.
They pay you if you're doing a DJ event. But sometimes when they're like, oh, will you come and speak? That's when they don't realize and the money just goes out the door.
And they're like, yeah, here's... And to be clear, I was pretty excited about that because...
normally people give you nothing.
I went to the Olive Garden twice. I was able to go to the Olive Garden twice with that.
Big spender.
2 times.
That's it.
With soda.
Yeah.
And now that I don't drink soda, I might be able to squeeze 2.5 times out of something like that.
Well,
So
here, if someone would like Obi to come be a guest speaker.
Yeah.
Maybe
I shouldn't have told you guys that. That makes it seem like I'm available for cheap.
Yeah, they won't pay you at all then.
Like, hey, bro, look, we're not big spenders. We can't do that Olive Garden thing.
But here's some gift card. I don't know how much is left on it. I spent some of it, but you can have the rest.
Get yourself $1 off your next Starbucks purchase with this right here. Oh, man. Omarosa, her name starts with an O. I'm an O. All right? It's perfect. We both have names that are a little, left or right of the mainstream, but I can come and speak at your event. $10,000.
$5,000.
8 if you call now.
The Riot talks about wanting a day off, but when do we get a day off from them?
Boo! You suck at this.
It's the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
Something I forgot about was last year, the Academy Awards, the big talk when it was all over was that La La Land won Best Picture for about 10 seconds. Might have been 5.
And then something else won. Was that the one where they called it wrong?
Yes, it was.
Boy, I guess I forgot about that.
That was last year. La La Land was announced, and they were like, oh, wait, Moonlight.
Just kidding.
Our bad. Like, what a mess, right? Boy, is our face red. So for the rest of us, well, okay. For me, I was just like, they made a minor mistake. And, you think about how terrible it would be to think you won, and then you didn't win, and all those kinds of things. But at the end of the night, the people that run the Academy Awards were not happy.
There were some meetings.
There was,
like when you do wrong at work,
and
it, like everybody's quiet.
It's like, okay, we'll handle this quietly later.
And on Monday.
Mm-hmm. So PwC is the name of the company that basically handles the information for the Academy Awards, and they announced they have a new 6-step process.
To make sure there's
6 new rules.
To make sure there's no more problems.
To make sure there are no more problems, including before presenters head out onto the stage, there will be somebody there confirming with them that they have the correct envelope. Seems reasonable.
Because that was the problem with it last year, wasn't it?
Yes, it was not the presenter's fault.
Which has been something like, who was the guy with
Warren Beatty and... I'm sorry, his co-star from that movie, I can't remember.
I'm sure they're both just a wonderful...
Faye Dunaway.
That person.
Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway. They were co-stars in Bonnie and Clyde.
No, but if you go back to what was the beauty pageant and right. Steve Harvey, remember when he said that wrong? Mm-hmm. But with the Oscars, that was it said what he thought, like he read it right.
Yeah, he read the envelope correctly. He had the incorrect envelope. So... They all ran up on stage like, yay, and it was like, no, this is wrong.
Go ahead and sit back down.
Yeah. So they say that with these 6 new rules, everything's going to be okay. Yeah.
I already played Mike Maines. Too bad. That would have been perfect. Everything's going to go your way if they call you.
It would have been. So they say they've got that all in place. And then, of course, today they have announced what all the winners are.
Oscar nominations. So they said that they're going to check the envelope when you get up on the stage to make sure you have the correct one. Mm-hmm. What's the 5 other steps?
There will be 2 new people working that must remain off their phones the entire time.
Oh, because the other people were...
So apparently they were on their phones?
Yes, the ones that maybe led to the mistake had been tweeting a lot during the event, pictures of the celebrities. Mm-hmm. So they feel like that led to not paying attention. Way to get caught, right?
I love this.
So there's a reason for that one.
This feels like somebody says you're like, well, you can't, no, you have to pay attention. You're working now. You can't be on your phone. You're like, whatever, I can work and be on my phone.
I can handle this when they made a mistake.
Deal. Oh, crap, they just announced the wrong Best Picture winner. That is not my phone's fault. That is someone else's fault.
Someone else's problem.
Don't you blame this on my Apple. This is a 10. Don't look at it. It's got an X. It's coming for you. Yeah, so they're not allowed to be on their phones anymore. Oh, man, can you imagine how terrible it would be 5 hours not on your phone? That job's not even worth it. It's not even worth it.
Money.
You tell me I just have to stand here with the envelopes for 5 hours? I quit.
Leftovers from the most disgusting meal you've ever had. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
You know, yesterday we asked you to tell us what you thought would make a good slogan for the
upcoming billboard series that we might do.
That we're not doing, but we should. We should.
I don't want to open it up to find out what people say.
You don't want to hear it? I went ahead and put it on our Facebook page, which you can find at Radio U on Facebook. And while you're there, make sure you like us, and then you also click follow so you can keep up with what Radio U is doing on Facebook. So I decided to start with my own. There were some of the slogans I came up with. The Riot, you won't hate it.
Good.
Not as good as the other guys, but no commercials.
Oh, see, that's a nice one. That's truthful.
What that one guy from high school ended up doing.
Nice.
You're bored, so it'll do.
That's good.
The opposite of good times. Okay? Let's see. Gary says it's good, but not horrible.
Perfect.
You paid $8 for coffee. What's one more bad decision?
I like that one. That's a great one.
It's crap, but no commercials.
That's I feel a riff. You still get some credit with that.
Yeah, I feel like that.
That could be a whole series of billboards.
I agree.
Blank, but at least no commercials.
Zach says stay up in school or end up like this.
Aww.
Stay in school. I said that wrong. I like that one, actually.
I stayed up in school. That was the problem. That was the issue.
That's wrong. Let's see. Kelly, don't worry, folks. It's a radio program. Okay.
Aww.
Lance, the new face of morning radio. Be afraid. Be very afraid. Melanie, I like this. It's not as bad as you've heard.
Oh, Melanie, I really like that one. See, that's a little bit positive, but very truthful.
It's not as bad as you've heard.
That's really nice.
She also says lower your expectations.
That's just a life lesson.
The Riot, hey, it could be worse. Mm-hmm. That came from Noel. Thomas, The Riot with Obadiah and Nikki, meh.
Meh?
Yeah. Let's see. Tyler, the best part of waking up is the Riot beating on your eardrums. See, that one's a little too positive, Tyler.
It's a little much.
We want to make sure that it's, Jeremy says, see, kids, work harder.
Like we're the example.
Right. Well, the bad example. So, Austin says, we love junk food. I like Katie's. An effort was made.
Aw, see? Guys, that's what we're looking for. That's it.
I really like that one.
Why don't you use these to write?
An effort was made.
These should be the next Riot liners.
They could be good liners. Like, they really could. I like the... wait, where was the one that we really liked? I don't know. I'll go back through and find it. Oh, the Riot. It's not as bad as you've heard. I like...
Still the best. I think that one's top.
Melanie, that one might be my favorite right there.
Followed closely by the blank, but no commercials at least. So
crap, but no commercials.
Whatever you put in there.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah. I'm gonna go to school on these a little bit. I am writing a new Riot liner package. Maybe you'll
hear yours there.
You never know.
Or you'll see it up on a billboard.
You won't, actually.
Maybe.
No, you won't. JP just texted in. He said the Riot. No. Okay. All right. So hey, listen, if you want to join the conversation, Facebook.com/RadioU.
Nice
Feel free to bring your insults over. They won't end up on a billboard, but you might hear them on the show.
And at least we'll see them, so it'll hurt a little.
Yeah, I mean, like you're wanting to sting and, cut a little deep, and this is a great place to start.
The Riot used to be 3 people.
Please tell me we're not discussing video games again.
The other guy didn't make it. It's the Riot.
Look, I know what I have to say here is not going to be popular, but...
Might as well just spit it out.
I got to get it out. Over the weekend, I was talking to a friend who went to an engagement party. What are we doing?
You're just having a party.
No.
Any excuse to have a party is great.
It's not. You're not having a party. You're having an opportunity for people to give you pre-gifts. That's what an engagement party is.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I guess it does make sense.
That's what it is. So why don't we get you an engagement present?
Do people bring them? I've never been to an engagement party.
I'll bet they do.
Going to a wedding's hard enough. Like, that's painful, but an engagement party, it's a different layer.
Newsflash. Your engagement party is the wedding. That's the engagement party, okay? Getting engaged, and this is, again, I said this wouldn't be popular, but getting engaged, I can just feel people getting angry about it. Mostly girls, but you get it. Getting engaged is not an accomplishment. It feels like an accomplishment, but it's actually a step on the road to an accomplishment. So what you've done is you've gotten a gym membership. We don't have a gym membership party. Nobody gets together to celebrate that. No, you don't. You celebrate when you've accomplished something once you've gotten to the gym. I'll come to your wedding and celebrate the fact that you made it through the engagement, not that you started it. Okay? That's where I'm at. I will come and celebrate the achievement, the getting through the engagement, the getting angry at each other over colors, and who gets to hold the gun to scan for the registry, and like all that stuff. I'll celebrate that you made it through that. Fine. But I mean, arguably, even then, really, I should come to your 50th anniversary. Once we get to that, now we can celebrate.
I feel, though, if you want to have an engagement party, but it's not like people bring gifts, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's wrong, but you and I both know that they're throwing that engagement party with the hope that someone's bringing presents.
I don't think, maybe deep down, maybe. But it's like an exciting layer of it, but I don't think you're doing it just for that.
Here's a better...
You're just there to celebrate that you're now doing that. You're on that path.
No, I'm going to make a lot of people unhappy, but I'm going to say this.
That's any day.
The engagement party is the hallmark holiday of the wedding industry. It is...
Making another day?
It is, because here's the thing. There's an entire industry that's set up, and what do? They make money off of you getting married. And they're like, okay, we're not getting enough weddings. We need some others. So it's like, all right, we're going to have a mini wedding, all right? Have you picked out your engagement party dress? Okay, have you picked out your engagement party outfit? Do you want to get some of your groomsmen?
Don't even get him started on prom proposals.
How about this? Why don't we I'll tell you what, we're going to make these engagement party invitations, and we're going to make engagement party outfits, and we're going to get engagement party photos, and we have to have engagement party catering, and why don't we go ahead and hire a DJ for the engagement party? Do you know what that is? It's a wedding. All you have left to get is a pastor or a licensed representative of the state, and you can just get married.
Okay, easy there.
Well, I'm not mad.
But you tend to get louder and just a lot.
You know, Nikki, sometimes an idea strikes me and it's like a sickness in my mind. I can't let it go. And
he can't stop. My apologies, guys.
I have wrestled with the idea of an engagement party for about 5 days now, and my brain can't stop. I'm just like, oh my gosh. Now, in fairness, I'm not getting invited to these engagement parties and now I'm never getting invited to one.
Well, now you know why.
I've been permanently barred from all engagement parties. But sometimes somebody's got to bring a little truth in here. And I'm telling you right now, you guys are getting scammed.
Well, you're getting close to Valentine's Day, too, so it is the season.
Valentine's Day is an existing scam. That's
that's when a lot of people start getting engaged.
But the engagement party is something that I feel like in our society is fairly new. It's not completely new, but it's fairly new, and we have a chance to stop it right now.
What's wrong with having a party?
It's not for you. Like, you love having a party if you're the one engaged, but now I have to come to your party?
That's the problem, and you have to bring a gift. That's what you don't like.
Let's take all of the most mind-numbing things the Riot has ever said and play them again.
It's a stupid idea, but I love it.
It's the Riot on Radio U.
Here's the short version. I think engagement parties are a scam. Okay.
Now, you told us in a long way.
In a long way.
But I feel like Brandon's, what he's bringing to the table, how to say it, I think it's saying what you were saying in a long way.
Yeah.
Wrapped up nicely what the problem is.
Brandon, I think engagement parties are a way to get more presents. What do you think?
I think that whether or not it is a scam for presents all comes down to one fact. Are you sending out invitations to this party?
Okay.
Like physical ones, or are you talking like an Evite?
I'm thinking physical ones, because if you think about it, anytime you get a physical invitation, a baby shower, an invitation to an actual wedding,
a
like you said,
birthday,
something to celebrate,
sure,
all of that, you're expected to give presents. What we really got to get to is that this is just all a setup by girlfriends to get their boyfriends to feel bad for not committing. You got to have this big party to kind of rub it in all of their single friends' faces.
Whoa!
It's either that or presents. It's one of those things.
Brandon,
There's a lot of layers to this thing.
You're right.
Whoa.
It's an onion.
Fundamentally wrong.
It's an onion. It's an
Brandon
onion.
just threw down. So
Nobody likes onions just by themselves. So
True.
you got to put it with them.
Well, okay, Brandon, you're more like Obi than
You
I
just
thought.
blew my mind, bro. You just blew my mind. Because, Brandon, you just took it from if you get an invitation, you have to bring a present to it's a way for girls to basically lord it over their friends that they got
finally
engaged.
got engaged. Yeah. Okay.
And we'll not even bring up the fact that you can get engaged like at the drop of a hat to as many people as you want. It's only legal to be married to one person.
See, that's why that's where I came down on it is like, look, the wedding is your engagement party. If you can make it through the engagement to the wedding day, I will come and celebrate, and I will buy you a present because society says I have to.
Because a lot of times not everybody makes it to the wedding, and if you can't, you're at least getting a party where you wouldn't have had the wedding.
When my wife and I got married, she had a wedding shower that only the girls had to go to.
That's common, yeah.
So why do you got to have an extra party? Just call it a party and celebrate with your friends. But if you send the invitations, you're expecting presents.
Man, Brandon, you're a genius. Thank you for calling.
No problem. You guys are great. Thanks for doing what you do.
Thanks. Maybe we'll throw a party. No, we won't.
No invitations.
No, because you're so great.
He just blew my mind.
I know.
Okay, Nikki, it's tied to the invitation. If you get an invitation, you're expected. So, for example,
but I always get, online invitations now, even though if you're expected to give a present.
Here's what I think. And this is a big if you just said to me, we're getting together at Applebee's on Saturday to celebrate our engagement.
Okay, I'm following.
It's like, all right.
It's casual, is what you're saying.
It's totes cash. You show up, you're paying for your own baby back ribs, okay? Fine.
But if the person has paid for a physical invitation, then they want the money and the presents to recoup that.
All right. Hey, come on over. We're going to play that weird face game where you pull your lips all the way back and get the thing, and we're going to order pizza. Okay, $10 in the jar. Bring your own 2-liter. Party. Okay?
No, that's
whatever.
a weekend. That's
all right? Okay, whatever. But if it's like, please, we request the honor of your presence.
With the parents' names. Mr. and Mrs. Smith request the honor of the party enjoyment of now them being engaged.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, exactly that. You know what? I've got plenty of text messages. We'll be back in a minute. We'll talk about what people are saying. You can text 877-2-RADIO-U, or you can call, whatever.
How mean, though, is it if you're just planning on, you're like, I really wanted to have a party, but now Obi's going to be in your head going, you can't have it.
No, I see you can, just no physical invitations.
Just no invitations, no presents. You can't accept anything.
Please, no presents. But nobody's going to say that. They'll be like, please, presents.
The Riot is now accepting applications for a staff pastry chef. Please drop your resumes and an example of your work at the studio door, and we'll get back to you. Wink, wink. The Riot on Radio U.
We're talking engagement parties, and I say that the wedding is your engagement party. The wedding is.
But you're saying now that people are wanting to have engagement parties, which is just an excuse, according to you, for more presents.
Absolutely. Now, Deanna does not agree with me.
Oh, someone on the other side? Yay!
Hi, Deanna. How are you?
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm good. Good. How are you?
We're doing very good. So what's your thought?
Well, I was just thinking, if it was me, I would want to have an engagement party to try to get, money to pay for the thing. I wouldn't want presents. I would want money.
Good call.
Okay.
Have, a jar, let's decorate it, put a ribbon on it.
Oh, my gosh, wait. I see it. You put in fairy lights, and you put your name and then the date of the wedding, and that's it.
Okay.
Yes. Now accepting donations. Come on, guys. We got to pay for this thing.
See, I like that, and I think that's even more understandable than asking for gifts and then gifts again. So I like that idea.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that.
All right. Well, Deanna, thank you so much for calling.
Have a good day.
No problem.
Bye.
You too, guys. Thanks.
And I think you could do that jar for any party you have.
You could.
Not just for an engagement.
You could. I think this goes back to, and again, not a popular opinion, but I think we should all be spending less money on our weddings and more money on, I don't know, something else.
You could say that on anything.
Like, your Funko Pop collection or something. Invest in something that's going to be worth something down the line.
Did you just give that financial advice? because someone doesn't know the sarcasm that you just put out there, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, is that what I should be investing in?" Because I keep hearing I should be investing in something.
I should really.
I hate you for that.
What?
Someone's gonna do that.
What?
Don't buy Funko Pops as an investment.
It's better than investing in your engagement party / wedding.
Why?
Because you don't need that.
Save money for like a bigger apartment or a house or something or a car.
Okay.
You don't have to waste all your money on all the party stuff.
That's exactly what I'm trying to say, because you're going to need room for all of your, collectibles. Justin says, preach, Obi. You're welcome. Carl, this was what Brandon was talking to us a few minutes ago. Brandon said that if somebody sends out an invitation, a paper invitation, then there's an expectation of a gift. And Carl said, slow clap. Stacy says, as a wedding photographer, I 100% support you. People are just looking for more ways to get attention.
Yeah, but then they need you at the party.
I was going to say,
so they're going to want to hire you.
Yeah, but this makes me trust what Stacy's saying, because she's directly in a position to financially benefit from all of these parties, and she's saying, hey.
Still saying that?
Dang, right?
Well, you're at the season, because, a lot of people start to get married in the spring, so this is when you start getting all the wedding invites.
It's true. Jason in Dayton says, please send presents. I like to think that parties are voluntary. Oh, my gosh, this is such a good idea. But maybe the new thing is sending a gift if you can't make it in person. I'd totally get on that train.
Then you mean if you go, you're the gift, but if you can't make it, send something?
I'll tell you right now, if I could get out of going to weddings just by sending a gift,
you can.
I'd never go to a wedding again.
You just send it from
Unless
the registry.
Unless you pay me to be your DJ, and I love weddings.
You're not winning any points, by the way. Your whole 15 minutes on this, you've lost a lot of weddings.
People are like, we don't want him to DJ our wedding. He's the worst.
He's so nasty with it.
You know what? Here's the thing.
When in fact, he's actually a very good party DJ.
I'm a great wedding DJ. You put the couple first and their wants above even the families. Get that domineering mom that's like, we're going to do it my way. You're like, hey.
He's great for any parties.
We're going to do what you guys want, okay? But Jason says that I like that idea. He says, what if, oh my gosh, Jason's loaded with good ideas. What if you just start charging per person to go to the wedding? So you sell tickets to your wedding.
Some people will, if you RSVP and you don't end up coming. You remember they've
the
had
expectation that you would pay for the meal that you missed?
You would pay since you did not eat.
Well, we're getting way far afield here. The point I was saying is that, let me just reiterate, I think that the wedding is the engagement party. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. Trying to squeeze in more parties leading up to it is fine. We can go to Fridays or Applebee's. There's no expectations.
Why are those your two choices? You said Applebee's twice.
Because I want to communicate a certain unclassy nature to what I'm trying to communicate.
Now you've offended people who like Applebee's. Could you try to be nicer?
Applebee's is the worst, guys. There.
The Riot is the radio equivalent of Taco Bell meat. Radio U.
One of the great things about the internet is that you can always find somebody that you feel like is worse than you are. So you can be like, well, I may be bad, but I'm not this guy, right? So let's talk about him. His name is...
Oh, there's a particular person?
Yeah, I want to take the shade away from me and push it off on somebody else.
So what's this person done?
His name is Joe Prin. He lives in Idaho, and this is from the Idaho Statesman, which is a paper there, / website, because most papers are like, websites now, you know what I'm saying? So he went ahead, and he has for the last, how many years? I don't know. He's been collecting beer cans.
As a hobby?
I don't mean smash it down and take it down to the recycling center. I mean, this guy has a house that is full of 11,000 beer cans.
Now, are we talking, hey, I had this craft beer and I've got one can from that company, I'm saving it? Or is it every time he drinks a can of beer, he saves it?
He's saving individual cans, individual companies, and hey, why I have these Coors cans that go back 30 years. And so here are all the different kinds of, can variations that they've had.
I have a fascination with hoarding shows. And whenever someone says they have a collection, that just means they're basically hoarding onto something.
Yes.
And it seems like this guy falls into that category.
It feels like it. The difference between a hoarder and a collector, I feel like, is whether or not they're able to
make money off of it.
Okay, well, that's one way of saying it. But I was going to say whether they're able to explain it to somebody. A hoarder's like, I keep everything. A collector is like, I only hoard one thing.
There's no difference, though.
You don't think there is?
Really, when it gets down to you actually having to clean up if you are hoarding something, there's no difference between mentally what the person's going through. Like, this is going to be like, hey, I was such and such, and I had my first beer with my dad, and now we don't talk anymore, so I can't get rid of the cans. There's always some sort of tie-in emotionally, like, to why he's doing this.
Oh, man, but, like, if you say stuff like that, that means real. The only reason I like science fiction is because of all my childhood memories of my dad and I watching Star Trek. That's where I got my sickness, and I can't let go. Is that what you're saying?
It actually sounds... like it could be.
This Pop Psychology Minute brought to you by...
That's how it is. You don't collect. You're fine.
Well, he is able to get... no, I was going to say he's able to give some of it away, but he's just hosting an event.
To show them off, but not to give them away?
Yep.
I wonder how much money you could get even if you just recycled them.
Well, $11,000. Let's say if you could get a penny a piece.
You can get a little bit more than that, can't you?
$11,000. He began collecting cans as a 15-year-old in Colorado. Here we go, Nikki. Here's his story. We take them to this antique mall in Golden, then go across the street to the Dairy Queen and buy ice cream and hamburgers. It was a means to an end. So what they would do is they would collect cans
to be able to eat,
to turn them in. Well, not like they couldn't eat anything, but they would go to the Dairy Queen like a treat.
Ice cream and hamburgers.
He says, but we always saved one of each because we thought it was kind of cool. And now he's 58, and he's been doing this for 43 years.
And now it's a problem. Man, to go into someone's house like that, be like, well, what do we do here?
You know what we really should do? We should just go ahead and send this guy a copy of that book, Swedish Death Cleaning, that we were looking at.
Yeah, it's how did they do it? What was the thing with that?
The idea behind Swedish Death Cleaning was basically when you hit 40, you start giving your stuff away.
Because it's death cleaning, meaning would you want to, if you die, because not for a long time. You just never know. If you were to ever die, would you want to live or leave all the items that you have in your possession to have your family members have to deal with?
Right. So you start giving them away.
It's a way of living past a certain point where you don't keep as much stuff.
This guy could give a piece of trash to 11,000 people.
Yes, he could.
Wow.
He could. He should deal with that. You don't want to. You don't want to have to.
Well, what do you like? At the end of the day, museums are where hoarders' collections go. So, where do you put these?
You're just gonna have to take them to the dump or something.
Ooh, yikes!
And that will hurt. But I need to be one of those people. I want to be on those shows. I want to go and help. Be like, it's okay, but we have to.
All right, go ahead. You can cry all you want, but we're throwing this away.
I'm in the car now. Get in the car. We're going.
This was the worst of the riots, and we'd like to congratulate you on having the stomach to stick around to the very end. The riot exists because Radio U exists, and Radio U only exists because of your support. Find out more and give now at radiou.com/donate.
Well, you're pretty good looking. Come here.